Alright guys, give a warm welcome. I would like to introduce to you Godzilla Special Effect Director, Mr. Koichi Kawakita! Hey, so from all of us, I would like to welcome you to America.
ロサンゼルスへようこそいらっしゃいました。
So, I believe you've been to the United States several times, but how many times have you visited Los Angeles?
アメリカには何度か来られたことがあると思うんですけども、ロサンゼルスには何度来られたことがあるんでしょうか。
4回ぐらいあると思います。行ってない。まあこういう大々的なねイベントでお呼ばれしたのは初めてなんで、前はエジプシャンシアターでやっぱりビオランテの上映会があって、印象に残ってます。
So it's been 4 times for me to be here, and I think last time I came here at Egyptian Theater, and it's also a Godzilla vs. Biollante movie.
So, we're going to ask Mr. Kawakita-san some warming up questions. So the first question I have to ask you, what do you think about the American fan base?
アメリカのファンの皆さんについて日本のファンの方と比べてどうお考えでしょうか。
いやもう熱狂的なファンが多くて本当嬉しい限りです。昔からゴジラに関してはファンが多いんでこんな嬉しいことはありません。
I'm really happy to see enthusiastic fans. Really, I'm very appreciated.
Yeah. Mr. Kawakita, I think all the fans want to know, which is your favorite Godzilla movie?
一番お好きなゴジラ映画というのは何なんでしょうか。
まあ今日上映したゴジラ対ビオランテと、最後にやったデストロイヤーという作品がやっぱり僕が好きなんで、時間があればぜひ、ゴジラ対デストロイヤー見てほしいなと思います。
My favorite is of course Godzilla vs. Biollante that he first directed the movie, and of course Destroyer. If you haven't seen Destroyer, please watch.
So, we had the Godzilla screening show today in Little Tokyo, but this is not the first one. Today, there was another Godzilla screening in Little Tokyo 18 years ago. He organized the first Godzilla screening, the Godzilla Film Festival. I would like to introduce you the chairman of Little Tokyo Opportunities Community, Yukio Kawaratani.
Not yet. You're fine, you're fine.
Hi, Yukio-san, would you tell us the story of Godzilla Film Festival in 1996? How you came up with the event?
Well, 18 years ago, Little Tokyo businesses were hurting because not enough people were coming to Little Tokyo. At night, this place closed up at 6 o'clock. So as chair of a citizens committee, we were asked to come up with ideas on how do we help Little Tokyo. And we unanimously agreed we need to have Godzilla used to bring, revitalize Little Tokyo.
Yeah!
Now we use the very busy Nisei Week festival period to have our Godzilla event and to have Godzilla spotlighted on his visit to Los Angeles, or Little Tokyo. And we got the Toho Film Company to lend us 3 Godzilla films, and we had a very successful film festival at the Newark, at the Arotami Theater. They also lent us the costume, the authentic costume used in the movies of Godzilla. So when we got that over here, we got a Godzilla fan. He was a crazy fan, and he says he's going to be Godzilla in the costume, and he went wild. So he was quite a hit at the film festival, and we took him to the city council, and even the mayor of Los Angeles says, "Oh, I got to have a photo opportunity." So, and then we had Godzilla. He sat in the back, sitting up high on the Jeep Cherokee, and so he was honored as the parade marshal of the Nisei Week parade. So at the end of the Godzilla activities this Nisei Week, we had a lot of TV coverage. In fact, the PI, public information person said we were on TV news 17 times, and then also in all the local newspapers. So it was a big success and tied Godzilla to Little Tokyo.
Yukio-san, actually we have some photos up there. We're going to go ahead and play them, and we're going to talk about them a little bit. Can you tell me about the first image up there? What is that? Can you explain that to me?
Oh yeah, we came up with various ideas to try to get Toho to let us put up a topiary with Godzilla 25 feet high, and also a big mural behind it of various places in Los Angeles and also in downtown. But they wouldn't let us do anything permanent because they said of copyright issues, so they would only let us have the film festival. They gave us the 3 films and the costume to use in the parade. So unfortunately, we couldn't continue on with Godzilla.
All right, let's take a look at the next one. Oh, I recognize this one. Can you tell me about this?
Yeah, this was our advertising our 3 films, and you know, one of them is Destroy All Monsters that he mentioned, and so we showed all 3 films for a very successful film festival. This was our poster we put together at that time.
Okay, let's see the next one. Oh, actually, you know, Tetsu let me borrow this one. I get to read this one. So, can you tell me about this?
Well, this was the LA Times saying that you know, that we're having a film festival and so forth. The Godzilla is coming to Los Angeles, and they gave us a long article about Godzilla and the film festival and the Nisei Week parade and so forth. So we got a lot of publicity. This was the LA Times article, so the whole LA region got to read about Godzilla in Little Tokyo.
All right, and this is the last image. Can you explain what's this one?
Yeah, well, this shows Godzilla and some of his foes to be a topiary. You know, that's where you have the chicken wire and metal going up, and you have the plants growing up on it. And in the background, we were going to have that big mural. But unfortunately, this was my favorite, but unfortunately, we couldn't have it. We had the site and everything.
Too bad, right, guys?
Yeah! Looks good!
Thank you very much, Yukio-san.
Thank you.
Now, back to you, Mr. Kawakita. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, Yukio-san, how did you feel when you heard there was going to be another screening in Los Angeles?
Well, this was Tetsu Shiota's idea, and I guess he was in communications with Mr. Kawakita. But Tetsu heard that I had done Godzilla 18 years before, so they sent them to ask for my help. So I said, sure, let's bring Godzilla back to Little Tokyo.
Well, in 1996, the first screening show, Godzilla Film Festival, was a huge success. And today we think today was another success as well. What do you think makes Godzilla so special? Why is he not only a Japanese icon, but an international icon as well?
Well, you know, Godzilla's been around for a long time, something like 40 years and over 22 films. So, you know, all the generations, everybody from the young to the old remember Godzilla and they love him. So you just mention the name Godzilla and everybody smiles.
Thank you, Yukio-san. Mr. Kawakita, let me ask you the same question. What do you think makes Godzilla one of the most beloved movie icons in the world?
同じ質問なんですが、どうしてゴジラがこんなにも愛されているんだと思われますか？
やっぱりそういうものにやっぱ憧れるんで、やっぱそういうところが多分にあるんじゃないかなと思いますけどね。
I think people love to be something strong, so that's one of the reasons that people love Godzilla. Very strong.
Yeah. Throughout the party. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Tonight, Yukio-san's will and passion will be passed down to us, and we'll continue to hold more Godzilla events. Thank you very much, Yukio-san. And I would like to mention, without Yukio-san, today's event would not be possible. So again, guys, let's show him some LA love. Let's give him some power welcome. Thank you very much.
Oh wow, good timing.
Oh my god.
Now, folks, we're going to go and move on to the panel and Q&A. I hope you guys have been thinking hard about your questions. And I would like to introduce Steve Rifle from Sci-Fi Japan as a representative of all Godzilla fans. Steve, would you please cut on up?
Richard, can you take a picture for me? Thank you. Just briefly, I would like to start by saying how honored we are to have Director Kawakita as a guest here in Los Angeles. This gentleman not only directed the 6 Godzilla films, starting with the one that you all saw tonight, but he is part of the long legacy and tradition of Japanese Tokusatsu filmmaking, having begun his career in the 1960s when the Toho Special Effects Department was still under Eiji Tsuburaya. So we're very honored to have you in our presence here, sir. Thank you for coming.
I've seen many articles on Sci-Fi Japan including Godzilla, and I'm pretty sure you and all the Godzilla fans have thousands of questions to ask Mr. Kawakita. So don't worry guys, you guys are going to get a chance to ask him as well. And so hold your questions till the end, okay? So Steve, please take it away.
Sure, I thought we'd just talk a little bit about the film that you all saw tonight. Godzilla vs. Biollante is a stylistic leap ahead of all the Godzilla films that came before it. Visually, it's so much different. You see the amazing battle between Godzilla and the Navy, Godzilla attacking Osaka that's shot with this incredible tracking shot, the incredible battle between Godzilla and the sort of Venus flytrap stage of Biollante. So my question, sir, is can you describe your philosophy and your approach to visually redefining the Godzilla franchise?
今回そのゴジラ対ビオランテを作られた時にこれに対する哲学というかどういうふうに新しい映画を作りたいと思っていたかをお聞かせいただけますでしょうか。
日本の伝統的なその怪獣の文化として、と言いながらもね、恐竜に近づけるべくその、今までのその僕がやったビオランテの以前のゴジラっていうのは白目だった。
So, he wanted to make something new. So it used to be the Godzilla's eye is white, isn't it? It used to be before the Biollante. So he started to change the Godzilla's eye.
で目もそうだし、それと実際に歯も二重にして食いついたら離れないみたいなね。
And they changed the teeth, so it's a double layer. So it's really once bite is not gonna let it go.
だから一番最初にそのビオランテを作った時に一番苦労したのはやっぱり新しいゴジラの再生ということがやっぱり主眼において。
So first thing is coming to when he makes the Godzilla vs. Biollante is something new. It's never happened before.
Now, Biollante is a feminine and I'd say a beautiful monster, but it's also horrific and scary, and that's something new as well. And I wondered what your challenges were in designing that monster.
ゴジラ対ビオランテというモンスターは非常にちょっと女性的というか花を街にしたのもあるんですけど、非常に綺麗美しいモンスターだと思うんですけれども、それはどういうモチーフというかで考えられましたか？
まあゴジラと同化すべくその、ゴジラの持っている細胞との融合だったんで、そういう点ではその、ゴジラの遺伝子を持っているバイオ怪獣だったんで。そこはちょっと今までの怪獣の系列とはちょっと違っていたんじゃないかなと思いますけど。
So I think Biollante is the difference between the monsters they appeared in the past. Is has a Godzilla cell. He wanted to create another form of Godzilla.
The introduction of the issue of biotechnology, I mean, it was relevant then, but that's one of the things that makes the film still very watchable now, is that this is still something that we're talking about, a genetically engineered monster. The project took several years to develop, and it's my understanding that at the script phase, or towards the final, as the movie went into development, that you were actually asked by director Omori to rewrite the script from the standpoint of the special effects, and that it sounds to me as if the special effects department had more input in this film than ever before. Can you tell us about some of the ideas that you introduced to the film and that remain on screen in the final cut?
制作が進んでいくうちに大森監督にちょっとこう変えてくれよというふうにお願いをしたというふうに聞いてるんですけれども、その特撮のデパートメントが非常に強力で、こういうふうに俺がイメージを作りたいからこうしてくれっていうのが多分あったと思うんですけれども、その辺のお話をちょっと聞かせていただきたいんですが。
監督が2人いるわけですよね。要するに本編班の監督と特撮班の監督で2人で、そこで切磋琢磨していろんなことを考えて、でこうあるべきだっていうのは結構あったんですよね。でどっちかいい方を取ろうと。
So we're not sure you guys already know this. So when it comes to making the Tokusatsu movie, there are two directors. One with the drama part, one with the Tokusatsu kaiju part. So the two directors compete each other, get a more better idea, and they talk about it. Okay, this is better. Okay, we take your idea. This is how it happens.
Okay. Taggy theater.
That's a good point. Not everybody appreciates that aspect of these films, and this two-director system really goes back all the way to the 1940s at least, when Eiji Tsuburaya collaborated with director Yamamoto Kajiro on war films, which were kind of notorious for these. Well, you may know the story about the Pearl Harbor sequence from a film called The War at Sea from Hawaii to Malaya, that was later supposedly mistaken for actual documentary footage of the attack on Pearl Harbor, although that story is not corroborated. Your Godzilla, Director Kawakita, behaves much more like an animal. A lot of us grew up with the Godzilla from the 1960s and 70s that's more of a character, and it behaves almost like a person. But your Godzilla goes back to the roots, and it's much more like a force of nature, and it even harkens back to the original intent, which was the nuclear bomb incarnate. So did you design that? I assume it was your intention, but I'm wondering how closely you collaborated with the suit actor, Mr. Satsuma, to create that image.
そのビオランテの以前の映画はゴジラはですね、ちょっとキャラクターによったというか、どちらかというと人のような非常にユニークなキャラクターとしてなってきたと思うんですけれども、ビオランテは本当どちらかというと原点回帰といったようなもので、本当にすごく自然の脅威というふうに描かれていると思うんですけれども、そのゴジラのデザインとかこの制作の過程においてどのようにお考えになって作られますでしょうか？
もともとこの企画そのものは検証応募作品だったんですよ。その時にビオランテという作品を書いたのは歯医者さんだった。
So the story is he created it from the Biollante. Is the story based on the story from Dentist?
There was a contest that was held after Godzilla '84, where fans and other people were allowed to submit story ideas, and the winning treatment was by a gentleman named Mr. Kobayashi. Is that correct? And he was a dentist, but also I believe he had written for Tokusatsu television shows and other before. He was a professional writer as well.
アンケートというか、その相手を募るようなことがあったと思うやられたと思うんですけど、それが小林さんという確か歯科医の方だったと思えてるんですけれども。
小林さんです。
For those of you who haven't already purchased the Blu-ray from Echo Bridge of this film, I believe it came out last year, but it has a nice little making of documentary and a piece on the creation of the design for Biollante.
So folks, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start the Q&A with fans. So if you guys would like a question, just please line up one by one here. All right.
Of the Godzilla movies that you've directed for special effects, which one was the hardest and most difficult, and why?
今までのその特技監督で台頭されたゴジラの映画の中で一番これが難しかったとか、こんなんであったというのがあったら教えていただきます。ちょっと理由もお願いします。
先ほど言ったようにビオランテっていう作品はその植物の怪獣で根があって動かない設定だった。
So Biollante is the plant, most of the plant. So it originally has a route, so it doesn't move.
設定だったんで、それだとちょっと最後のバトルではちょっと辛いかなと思って。じゃああれをその触手がこう地面を伸びていくように動かしたらどうだ。で急遽いろいろ考えてあれを動かしたんです。
So originally he basically Biollante doesn't move.
今日見た人は分かってると思います。
So he came up with the idea about a tentacle and going through the underground.
それは2カットぐらいしかないんですけど、あれはダイナミックなちょっとこうアクションで、スタッフにも受けたし、お客さんにも受けたんではないかなと思います。
So tentacle, the scene of tentacle is not really a couple of shots, but I think it's really people love this scene.
All right, folks. Anyone else want a question? Just guys, just line up right here, one by one after each other. It'll be easier. Just line up right behind them, guys.
Oh, I'm a big fan of yours.
Behind him or?
And one question I've been dying to know.
I think
Is Godzilla vegetarian? I think. Like eat seaweed or like meat eater, carnivore, dinosaur.
ゴジラにちょっと質問なんですが、ベジタリアンだと思う、それともお肉を食べる動物だと思いますか？
ソニー版のゴジラではニューヨークでお魚食べてたもんね。
I think they eat fish in certain movie.
Okay, thank you. I've been dying to know my life. Godzilla, I think, like an alligator, able to breathe underwater and has gills. So alligator, so water and air. That's what I think. Thank you.
僕の中ではアリゲーターのこのワニのようなイメージ。
Hi. Again, thank you for being here. I have a question again about how the whole scientific realm was handled in the movie. For instance, you see the brief sign when you see the school children all drawing the pictures, but it's like a school or study for psionics for exploitation, as opposed to for experimentation or anything, but it specifically says exploitation.
I'm taking a guess here, but I think that's really just sort of a nuance of translation. I don't think it means that the children are being exploited for their psychic powers.
I mean, it said it on the
door. I know it, but I've wondered that myself, but I really don't think that was the intent.
中にこのゴジラの子供たちが絵を描いてとか、あとサイキックが出てきたりとか、ちょっとちょっと非科学的なところが若干見られたんですけど、それについてお考えはありますか？
あれはまあ洗脳されたとか感じるというようなことであれになったんですよね。
It's not like rotation basically. It's like it's not brainwashed, but they just feel it that that's all about it. I think it's kind of thing could be happening if real Godzilla shows up.
All right, next, please. So we're gonna kind of follow. We're gonna have a little bit more time. We're gonna do this for another 5 minutes. So hopefully, I'm sorry if you guys didn't get a chance. I do apologize in advance.
Talk fast.
My question is, was it intimidating for you to follow in the footsteps of Eiji Tsuburaya and of course Tsuruya Makino, as they had such an enormous tradition, and was it intimidating for you to take that next step and take the series to the next level?
円谷英二さんの後を継ぐというか、その後をやって、その時に怖かったりとかプレッシャーを感じられたことというのはないでしょうか？
もうそうですね、ないというとそうなるかもしれませんけど、やっぱり円谷さんっていうのはやっぱ演出家であって特殊効果の技術者であるし、いろんなことのできる人だったんで、それはそういう意味ではすごい人だなと思いますけどね。
If I say no, that would be a lie. But he has so much talent. Like he can do special effect, he can read the script. So it's very, very kind of, it was kind of scary, yes.
アメリカみたく日本製じゃないんで、そういう撮影所のシステムの中でやってたんで、意外とそういうのはあるかもしれませんね。
So I was working kind of in a system, so it was kind of course, it was scary. Yes.
All right, I just want. Yeah, sorry, there's my loud voice going on.
You gotta come close.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to go back. Okay, anyway, just wanted to get this out of the way. Thank you so much for years of Godzilla films. I can't begin to tell you how important they actually were for me. But let's get right on to the question I have to ask, which is, you worked on, obviously, the 90s Godzilla films like Biollante Up to Destroyer, but you also worked on television in the 70s. And I wanted to know, when you're doing special effects for a feature versus a weekly show, what do you think the big difference is, and which one do you prefer?
ビオランテからデストロイヤーまでそれぞれ担当されたと思うんですけれども、70年代のテレビショー、テレビの番組を担当されたというふうに聞いてるんですけれども、その違いであるとか、あとどちらが自分個人的には好きなのかとか教えていただけますか？
テレビの場合はね、スピーディーなその展開があったんで、そういう点は、テレビはテレビなりに楽しいとか確認あるんで、このウルトラマンのシリーズだとか、流星人間というゴジラを登場したものとかやってますけど、そういった意味ではすごく楽しい作品だったんだなと思います。ただ映画っていうのはまたちょっと違って、もうちょいじっくり思考するためにあったと思います。
Yeah, so TV show must be done really, really fast. It's a weekly show, so it was fun. Really like sports. Like you have to do go. But when it comes to that, he likes about it too. But coming to the movie, he can take more time, plan, think, consider, and it's totally different. But he likes that too.
Okay, this is going to be our last question. So.
Right, so I know that you've produced several or helped out with several Godzilla films, but I'd like to know, which is your favorite monster that you sort of worked with to sort of create and such? How to try to make them work and how they operate and such. Which of the monsters is your favorite from the Godzilla?
Is it include every monster film?
At least the ones that not only the ones you worked with, but also the ones that
今までに監督された作品も含めてもそうなんですけれども、 全てのゴジラに出てきたその怪獣の中で一番もうぜひともこれをお気に入りでっていうのがあれば一つ教えていただきたいんですけれども。It's very difficult question.
まあデストロイヤーにしてるかな。
I think it's Destroyer. 理由は何かありますか？
やっぱり強大なゴジラに向かって戦い挑む、三大変身していくその様がすごく、大変だったんで、それをすごく思ってます。
Yeah, so the Godzilla and the Destroyer is a huge monster also, and that has three forms, like evolving form. It was very, very difficult, but also it was very fun.
Alright.
それからさっき言ってたゴジラってやっぱすごいなと思ってるのはやっぱり私もそうなんですけど、ゴジラから学ぶことっていうのは多分に僕なんかもあって、でゴジラっていうのはやっぱりゴジラ映画っていうのは、SF 映画であるし、科学映画でもあるし戦争映画でもあるんで、そういうオールマイティーなものを要素を考案してるんで、その中で戦いができる、ゴジラを使って戦いができるっていうのは素晴らしい。
I think why the Godzilla is so popular is it has a multi-purpose. Godzilla is all about. It's not only about the huge monsters fighting. It's all about anything like war, scientific aspect, human dramas, everything inside. So there's a lot of things that people can learn from the Godzilla films.
So we all want to know what's the most difficult thing when it comes to making tokusatsu film?
特撮の制作というのが、普通の実写映画というかドラマと違って、一番難しいところ、大変なのは何でしょうか？
イメージを作り上げるっていうのは大事なことなんで、だから本もできてないうちにもうロケーションに出てしまうってことが多分にあって、それから本を書いたりすることが多分にあった。
So when it comes to the most difficult thing to create a tokusatsu film, not a drama, so there's a lot of things he needs to plot, but actually he has to start without any planning. So it was one of the real difficult things because you need to make a miniature, make it realistic. Basically, we need to realize what he imagined in his mind. So making miniature is very difficult thing.
So speaking of miniature sets, I believe most of you guys saw the miniature demonstration at the screening. And there's no way we could not invite him up here. We're going to ask him to join us right now for this panel. No one surpasses him in miniature modeling. From Modeling Fine Arts, we want to introduce Mr. Norihiko Iwasaki. Would you please tell me about yourself and your career in miniature modeling?
Iwasaki Norihiko と言います。マービングファインアーツという会社をやっています。川北監督とはもう長くビオランテの方からそれこそずっとゴジラ作品の中でミニチュアを作っています。
So, Mr. Iwasaki is coming from Biollante Fine Arts. It's a miniature the company featuring the miniature model for the Tokusatsu films. And he's been working with Mr. Kawakita for a long time, since Mr. Godzilla vs. Biollante.
So I see like most of you guys are getting kind of restless. And some people see they can't wait anymore. So here we go. We're going to go show you guys God of Clay, directed by Koichi Kawakita, and the miniature model made by Norihiko Iwasaki. The original Tokusatsu film, God of Clay.
するんか？本当じゃ。ほんなら一緒にやる。しゃ、一緒にやるや。
いいかい？今日は自分の好きなものを作ってみようね。ケンイチ、ヨウコ、これは何を作ったのかね？
先生、これは戦争を憎む神様です。
お前のじいちゃんは昔はいい男じゃった。家が焼かれて弟の母が死んだ時も泣いてる私を励ましてくれた。でも今はクズになり果てた。あれだけ戦争を憎んでいたのに殺人兵器を作って金儲けしとる。どこであん人が道を間違えたのか私には分からん。粘土の神様出てこんかいな。
準備完了。指示お願いします。目標、第一防衛ラインに接近。
例のウラン弾試してみませんか。
しかし社長、あれは
威力を試す絶好の機会じゃないですか。
わしは変わらんぞ。
変えるために来たんじゃない。僕は健一に教えてもらいたくてやってきたんだ。
一体何を教えてほしいんじゃ。
僕はいなくなった方がいいんだろうか。健一はもう昔みたいに戦争を憎んでいないんだろう。
違う。今でもわしは戦争を憎んどる。強力な武装が戦争を起こさないための最良の手段だ。これがわしの平和じゃ。
戦争で人儲けしたやつに復讐じゃ。そしたら弟とおっか帰ってくるじゃろか。
Yes. So just briefly, I'd like to mention that this independently produced film is also part of the long legacy of Tokusatsu filmmaking. To give you an example, about 30 craftsmen worked on this film, special effects professionals devoted their time and worked on this basically as volunteers, as a labor of love. These included people from Eizo Kaimai's company, the person who designed the original Godzilla suit, Mr. Shimakura, the backdrop painter on so many Toho films. Mr. Nishimura, I believe, worked on this film too, who helped design the storyboards for this, and he had done character designs for a number of Mr. Kawakita's films. So I guess the most obvious question for both Mr. Iwasaki and Mr. Kawakita is how this project came about. How did you end up making this film?
変化の神様を作られた時のその経緯というか、どういうふうに経緯からこの、フィルムを作られたんでしょうか。
2008年ですね。
2008。
映画界がその特撮映画を作らなくなって久しくなって、その頃作っていたのはテレビシリーズのウルトラマンぐらいだったんです。
So at the time, it's not really a lot of people, a lot of companies not making the Tokusatsu film anymore, and actually that show is only the Ultraman series.
で、私はもう、ミニチュアを作っていて、で同様にアナログ特撮をやっていたスタッフたちですね、キャメラマンも照明の人で、総演の人たちに声をかけて、もう一度そのアナログ特撮を復活させようということで、プロモーションとしてボランティアを募って作った作品です。
So to revive the analog tokusatsu, so he called all the volunteers like monsters, editors, lighting, all the people who he knows and volunteer, and he decided to make Godzilla Play as a promotional movie for the analog tokusatsu movie.
それでやはり、最終的にはその監督に監修をしていただいて、今のフィルムが完成したということです。
And then Godzilla Play is supervised by Kawakita, and this is the final movie that he created. Yes.
できたらこれでその長編の作品ができないかという思いでみんなに働きかける材料として作ったわけです。
So this is a pilot movie. So I wish we could make more analog movie in a full-length movie. So this is the first step for the movie creation.
The story is based on a children's book, and which obviously has an anti-war message. Obviously, this reenacts the basis of the story is the firebombing of Tokyo during the last year of the war, and the destruction of this young boy's family, and he ends up growing up to be a war profiteer, ironically, the very thing that he once despised. I wondered if the anti-war message of the children's book was one of the things that inspired you to make the film. How you felt about that?
この映画のテーマにあるのは反戦ということだと思うんですけれども、東京で空爆か何かで町や家族を失った2人の兄弟が育っていくんだけど、1人のその男の子の方は皮肉にも戦争の兵器を作る側に回ってしまったというような内容だったと思うんですけれども、ここに込めた思いみたいなのは何かあるんでしょうか。そうですね。
やはりその戦争ということが、原作者がおられて絵本です、児童文学、児童絵本ですね。で子供のために書かれた本ではあるんですけども、非常に悲しい話で、戦争を忘れてはいけないっていう、日本人として、伝えなければならないことがそこにあったんだと思います。でそれがその監督も60代でありまして、割と戦争に近い年齢です。で、我々、私たちの子供たち、若い人材がその戦争を忘れないように、こういうことをしなきゃならない、繰り返してはならないっていうメッセージ として、伝えられる。
So this story is based on children's literature, and really this is very beautiful movie. It's plot, but it's, at the same time it's really sad. So this movie is basically anti-war. So as a Japanese, it's been a while the wars end. So this is the message. We just put the message in this movie. So do not forget the war. This is like very important as a Japanese to represent to say to the world.
I understand that Director Kawakita came on board after the film was already in production. So I was wondering if Director Kawakita could tell us a little bit about his work on the film and what attracted him to the project.
この粘土の神様、川北監督よろしいでしょうか。粘土の神様の、プロジェクトに参加されたときにですね、どういうふうな経緯でどういうふうに思われて参加されたんでしょうかということで。
もう撮影が進行しててですね、まだ完成を見てなかったので、じゃあこれだったら完成をしないとダメだろうということで、やっぱりプロモーションとして成立するべき約今20分の作品になってるんですけど、後半ちょっと取り直してもっと分かりやすいドラマを目指したい。
我々は本当にプロモーションとして作った内容であってたんですね。それは監督がその脚本を書き加える形で一つの作品として物語を完成させてくれた。
So when he started working on this project, so he wanted to make this movie as a promotional, but by joining the Kawakita is joining the film, so he's going to change the little detail so that actually make it more than just a promotional video. It's going to be actual short film.
So we're running out a little bit out of time right now. So as a last question, what are you currently working on right now? Both Mr. Iwasaki and Mr. Kawakita-san, what are we both working on currently right now?
では岩崎さんから、現在取り組まれているプロジェクトであるとかそういうものがありましたら現在のことをどういうことをされているのかというのを教えていただけますかと。
今ですねちょうど5月の段階で2本映画を撮っています。それは私のそのミニチュアを制作している映画です。1本は円谷プロダクションのウルトラマン銀河という作品です。で、それは今絶賛撮影中で8月ぐらいまで撮影するんです。で、もう1本はまだ、これはオフィシャルに実はなってないですけども「進撃の巨人」という作品が進めていて、撮影にこれから入るところです。それにちょっと参加しようというふうに考えています。
So for now, in May, he's working on 2 projects. One is right now Ultraman Ginga. I think it's already still filming right now, and it's going to be it's going to take. I think it's continued by end of August, I think. And it's not officially announced, but he's right now working on the live action version Attack on Titan. 川北監督、同じ質問なんですけれども、現在何か取り組まれている企画であるとかがあれば教えていただけますか。
大阪にある300メーターを超すアベノハルカスという商業ビルが今年できたので、そこを舞台にしてアベノハルカスを守るロボット戦を今これ帰ったら東京に帰ったらまた撮影が始まるんで。ぜひ今度は時間があれば、また持ってきてここで見ていただきたいなと思ってます。
So in Osaka there is a huge building, commercial building. It's called Abeno Halkus. It's a very tall building, and he is working on this the movie that is protect the Abeno Halkus. I think it's all about robots. So he's going to work on after he comes back to go back to Japan.
Thank you very much, folks. So we're going to take a short 10-minute intermission right now, and then we're going to start the sales and the raffle. I would like to give a thank to Mr. Kawakita and Mr. Iwasaki for coming out here today with us. I would like you guys to give them a big hand for Steve Daniel as well. Hang out here too as well. Thank you very much. So 10 minutes, guys.